He will make it rain on you. And when he withholds the rain, then everything starts to shrivel up. That's when you look at our economy. I know there's some things as far as manufacturing and some housing markets and everything. What we don't understand, we keep trying to look at everything from a natural. There's some spiritual connotations happening in our land, y'all. And when people reject God and go into woeful and willful sin, then God often will bring judgment on the land and withhold. And I believe that's one of the things that's been happening in our land. I'm not saying that that's the totality of what's happening, but when I look at where we are as a nation and what we struggle with people able to, I mean, used to be able to go to the grocery store and get you some groceries and get you a little gas or something like that. Nowadays, do y'all know how expensive stuff is at the store? And they got the nerve to give you these little bitty boxes of food nowadays. It is expensive. And I believe that we are kind of in the same situation where God is saying, I'm trying to get your attention. I'm trying to get you to wake up and see what's happening and begin to understand if you will turn from sin, there'll be blessing. Yes. But if you will walk in sin, you'll curse your own land. And so that's what's happening. So Elijah pronounces the judgment on the land, and then he has to flee because whenever you bring the truth, people get mad at you. Right. And so he flees, and God says, I want you to go there, and I'm going to supply you there. And this little side note, God is so awesome because God is able to provide for us all kind of ways. Supernaturally. Anybody had a supernatural provision from the Lord before? You didn't know how you were going to make it, and God just hooked you up? God just blessed you some kind of crazy way? I mean, think about it. The dude is by a brook, and ravens are bringing him food twice a day. Have you ever seen ravens? How many of y'all seen the ravens? They kind of like those crows. You've seen crows, haven't you? Big black birds. They take everything. Right. Ravens don't bring you anything. But God supernaturally told the raven, listen, my boy is sitting there. I want you to take him today. He got a taste for some chicken nuggets. So, all right, we're going to take him some chicken nuggets over there today. All right, tonight, he got a taste for some ribs. So God said, okay, I'm going to hook you up. Lots of ribs on over there with some sweet baby rays on them. So he hooked him up with some ribs, sweet baby rays. Amen. And the next day, he's by the brook. And the brook probably was like flowing with Kool-Aid, because I think he might have been black. So it's flowing with Kool-Aid. And he's drinking from the brook. And I can think creatively, can't I? Were you there? You tell me how to think. You use your imagination, I use mine. Amen. So he's by the brook, and every day God's supplying him. But God will sometimes drive your supernatural provision also to move you along the way. So I want to share with you some points. 5 key points I think that are pertinent to us as we go to our there place. The first thing is this. The question is, where is your there? Because we live in this mindset sometimes that we think we know where we need to be. And if things aren't going the way we think they should be going, we think that we have a better place. I remember when I was growing up back in the day, when jobs started moving from up north, everybody said, I got to move to Atlanta or Minneapolis. That was where everybody from my hometown went. Everybody had to get to Atlanta or Minneapolis or Indianapolis. And nothing wrong with those places. Nothing wrong. I'm a transplant. I'm not from here either. But one of the things I think we have to understand is we need to ask God before we go somewhere. Amen. God, where do you want me to be? Amen. You know, Sister Shamika said something profound last week. She said, whatever issues you got, if they are not dealt with, when you go elsewhere, those same issues are going to be there. Amen. And we think we can outrun the issues. The issues are internal. The enemy is in the me. And so there's a there. And here's the thing. Your provision, your money, your finances, your success is tied directly to where he wants you to be. So if you try to run, you could be running away from your provision, running away from your blessing. Doesn't mean you're not going to go through some things, but if God has placed you there, that's where your success lies in. When you look at your there, you have to understand your provision is tied directly to where he wants you, when he wants you there, how long he wants you there, and why he wants you there. So a lot of times we're trying to get away from things instead of asking God, God, why am I going through what I'm going? Lord, what do you want me to learn? What do you want to accomplish in my life, in the situation that I'm in? And this applies to your money too, y'all. See, we think that money is separate. It's a trip how people think. And I I read stuff, and I'm a student. Even though I'm, out of school, technically, I'm not out of school. Because if you stop learning, you die. If you stop learning, all you know is what you know. Amen. And so we have this mindset, and it's detrimental to us, where we think that we already got it all figured out. And God is saying, there is a there that I want you. And when I want you there, I'm going to make it clear to you to stay there until I send you to your next divine appointment. And that's how we have to begin to think about these things. And I know the point I was going back to about money. People think that churches should talk about everything but their money. A lot of folk will leave when churches talk about money, or get mad when people talk about money. Y'all read the Bible? How many of y'all have read some of the Bible? Y'all know Jesus talked about money a whole lot. You know why? Because your attitude towards money is directly tied to your attitude towards God. It's a direct correlation. I told you, I know people who are really seriously committed in their walk with the Lord when their money gets saved.